Hey guys, this is Wits. Today I'm going to show you how to build a hunter build that will stop people from discriminating against you on LFG. So you know the deal, every time you go on LFG, hunters always get discriminated against. No hunter, please. They always want Titan or Warlock. But today I'm going to show you how to make your build very easily. That way you don't have to deal with those LFG haters. So let's do this. All right, to get started, we're going to go to a little website called d2armorpicker.com. Now, if you don't have it already, I made a video previously. I'll show you the breakdown, how to get to it, how to sign up for it and everything. It's free. And if you want that, I will link it up in the description. That way you know how to get started. But for today, we're going to go straight to the build so I can show you how it gets done. Now, you have the option to click any of the other classes, but today we're gonna go with the hunter because we're trying to build a hunter. Now for this, this is the layout of the website, and then you have plenty of exotics to go to, and then you can pick one. That way you can build around that exotic. So for the build that we're gonna work on today, we're gonna go with the Aeon Swift because this is one of the better exotic for GM Nightfall and for it to be useful for your team. Now, once you click on that, then you're gonna have plenty of options to choose from, but this is not how we're gonna do it today. You have all those options, but we're gonna choose what we want. We're gonna choose our stats. That way we can build what we want. Now, for instance, normally with people with hunter, they always want mobility, but for PvE, mobility is not that important. So you need to prioritize recovery and intellect, or you can do discipline and intellect, whatever you want to do. But so for this build, we're gonna try to go for 100 recovery, and then we can go for 100 intellect. But if we do that, then we're gonna push down a lot of the other stats. So we're gonna go for 90 intellect instead. 90 intellect, you should be good to go. And then for the other stat, we want to prioritize resilience as well, but we don't want to go with 90. So let's try to go for 60. And then now we can have some other stuff to work with. And then we're going to go for 60 discipline. And then what we have left, we can have 30 mobility and also 30 strength. So let's go with those. So we're going to go with that. And then it gives you the layout of what we need to do. Now, other things that you can do down there, you can choose element or whatever, but we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to choose the mods that we are going to use for this build. So in my case, I'm going to use the energy converter. That's going to give you a minus 10 discipline. That's okay because that's what we're using this website. That way they can give you the best result that we need. And we're also going to use protective lights so you can have some survivability in GM Nightfall. And then since we are going to use stasis, because stasis is by far the better class for GM Nightfall. All the other ones are okay, but stasis, you're going to get more bangs for your buck with the stasis subclass. So with the stasis subclass, you get some fragments you can use that give you some positive. There's some of them that gives you negative. So we're going to build around the ones that give us positive. So we're going to go for a whisper of conduction. We're going to go for a whisper of endurance. And we're also going to go for a whisper of shards. Now, we can also go for a whisper of change. So, but you know, we just go with those one that I just mentioned and I will show you. And then the rest of this stuff, just assume all legendary are masterwork. So you make sure that now the numbers, the result that you're going to have, that's going to assume that all your pieces are going to be masterwork in order for you to get the numbers that you are looking for. And then down there, it's everything else that you need. You just go over everything you'll see. And then you can come down there and save the result that you have. And then we're going to load it into DIM, which is Destiny Item Manager. So on the right side, this is the result. Now there's only this one right here, and it shows you all the pieces of armor that you're going to have, you're going to need in order for you to make this build happen. And then down on the bottom, it tells you the mods, how many mods you're going to need and what kind of mod, whether they're minor or major. So it says here we're going to need 2 major recovery mods, and we're going to need 2 major discipline mods and 1 major intellect mod to get those numbers that we need. The numbers include the 100 recovery, the 90 intellect, and then the rest of them, you know, as you see right here. In order for you to get those numbers, this is the mods and the combination that you are going to need. And then it tells you right here what you need to do for the stasis subclass, what you need to do to get to those numbers, because some of them give you positive numbers. And then once you save it, you can go back and to it anytime you want to. So for today, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to copy this right here to the clipboard, and then we're going to move over to dim. All right, so I copy it to the clipboard, and then I'm going to go and paste it to dim Destiny Item Manager. And then what the system is going to do is going to pull up all those pieces that we need for that build, and then we can start working on them. So because I already have them on there, it's already there. You can see the helmet that we need. You can see the Eon Exotic that we were talking about. And then this is the chest piece that we need. And we also have the leg armor right there. And as far as a class item, you can use anyone, but you got to do exactly what they ask you to do to get the numbers that you want to. So now once you do all that stuff, you can create your build in Destiny Item Manager, give it a name, and then it will be that build. Now we're gonna go in game. I'm going to show you all those pieces and then the build that we are going to go for. All right, guys, now we are in game, so we're gonna go and look at everything that we talked about. So this is the helmet, and the helmet, remember we talked about the mods that we're gonna put on there. We're gonna put some energy converter, which is there. And then we also need some discipline mods. That's the major discipline mods right there. And as far as the rest of the mods that you need is based on the build that you are trying to go for and based on the number of energies that you have to spare. Now let's go for the arms. Now we're using the Eon Swift. Now the best one you can choose in here is the Sec of Insight, because you can create heavy ammo for your teammates. And we go also gonna have that major discipline mods that we talk about. And as far as the other mods, we're gonna use it accordingly based on the artifact, what we need based on the weapons that we're using for unstoppable, and also for overload or barrier, whatever we need to do in the GM Nightfall. Here on our chest piece, we use the major recovery mod because we need 2 major recovery mods. So we're gonna use that one and this right here. And then we're also using taking charge. The reason why we're using taking charge, because we want to take advantage of protective light. That way we can protect ourselves. And then for the rest of it, we're just going to use the mods that you need accordingly. So concussive dampener is a very good mod. It keeps you alive as much as possible. Now, like we said before, we need to make sure that everything is masterwork, but sometimes you're not going to have all the energies. Like for instance, I need an ascendant charge to finish masterworking this one, then I can have maximum recovery and stuff like that. Now let's go for the leg. In the leg armors, we are using the protective light that we already set up in the D2 Armor Picker website. Now we also have another major recovery mod because we needed 2 major recovery mod to make this work. And then the rest of the mods, again, is going to be based on what you need for your team and for yourself. Now, the only thing that we are missing now, it's a major intellect mods. But since we don't have enough energy because we are using the artifact mods that cost 7, so it's going to be kind of hard to get that done. But you can still make it happen when you have all the energy. You will be good to go. But so we're using particle deconstruction, and we are using a resonance siphon. We can switch that for something else, but this is a very good one because we are using stasis. And I don't want to leave anything empty, so I'm using a discipline mod that way I can get all the stats as high as possible. Now, talking about the stats, you can see my mobility is going to be at 28 and my resilience is going to be at 61. We're shooting for 60. And then my recovery, we're shooting for 100. I'm at 99. That's because I still need to masterwork this piece right here, and I will be at 100. Now for the discipline, we're shooting for 60. I am at 64 because I add an extra one here, but we only need 60. And then for the intellect, we are shooting for 90, but right now I'm sitting at 79 because I still don't have that major intellect mods. We'll work this out, but we should be good to go with the build that we are using. We are going to be fine because we are using energy converter. So whenever we throw our grenade, we're gonna have some super energy back to go and get our super as fast as possible. So we are good to go where we are right now. Now, as far as the stasis subclass, the fragment that we talked about, now we're gonna make sure that we are using the dust field grenade, and then we make sure that for the aspect, we're gonna use the ones that can give us 2 slots on each, then that way we can use 4 fragments. So the fragments that we are using that we talked about, so we didn't see that over there because it doesn't have a negative or a positive, so we're gonna use Whisper of Torment so we can have our grenade as fast as possible whenever we are taking fire. And we're also using Whisper of Shards, as we talked in the D2 armor picker, that gives us this plus 10 resilience. And then we're also using the Whisper of Durance that gives us plus 10 strength, because it is a very good one. And then we're also using Whisper of Conduction because we have plus 10 resilience and also plus 10 intellect to make sure that we have the numbers that we are looking for. That is the setup for the stasis subclass, and then that is the build that you can use to go to GM Nightfall. Again, this is a very potent build. If you use this setup, you are going to be good to go, and you're going to be important for your team. You're going to make heavy ammo, and you're also going to clear a lot of ads and also provide a lot of benefits for your team. This is it, guys. This is how you create a build in a few easy steps with those websites that we mentioned. Hopefully you find this informative. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later.